Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to cover paid ads compliance on Facebook versus YouTube and Google. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm comparing how strict these ad platforms are, especially because with Facebook ads, compliance has been a major issue. People are getting their accounts shut down left and right. And I wanted to kind of make that comparison with YouTube so you have a good idea of what works and doesn't work with YouTube ads and what you can get away with and so on. So before we get into this video, my name is Shash Singh and I run Linx Digital Agency where we've generated over $30 million with YouTube advertising. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we're going to cover a few different parts of compliance, right? And the first is, what can you say in ads, what's not allowed? Let me open this up by saying that with YouTube, you can be significantly more aggressive with what you say in your ad than on Facebook, especially in niches like weight loss and make money online or business opportunity niches. So typically Google may disapprove ads that it finds to be too edgy or so on, but it won't outright suspend an account. However, Facebook will easily suspend accounts if the ads are aggressive in any way. And we've seen this a lot with clients in the make money online niche where they've had their Facebook ad accounts get shut down, while we've never had issues with their Google ad accounts with their YouTube ads. So I want to give you a couple examples here, right? So this is a VShred ad. I want to point out a couple things that they do in this ad that wouldn't fly on Facebook, right? So around 1 minute 28 in, this is what he says.
To try dealing with the fat around your belly, do you really think that this time is going to be any different? I mean, how long are you going to keep trying on your own? The rest of your life? Now, if I was your trainer and I showed you exactly how to...
He's clearly saying something that, you know, a lot of people would be very uncomfortable with. It's a little bit of like he's calling out the viewer for their failures, right? And on Facebook, you cannot do that. On Facebook, you're not allowed to have the user or the viewer feel bad about, let's say, their weight loss or their body, etc. Another thing they do in this ad is they show before and afters of actors, right? So they don't show before and afters of their own clients or their own results, but they do show before and afters of Hollywood actors.
But to transform himself into the superhero, Jackman followed some of the secrets that I'll reveal to you. Chris Pratt went from the chubby, lovable Andy on Parks and Rec to the cover of Men's Fitness sporting a killer set of abs. What's their secret?
So you can see that that's a very clear before and after. Even though it's not a before after of their own product, it is an excellent example of like something that on Facebook would often you would have issues with getting pushed through. At 342, again, I want to really emphasize this.
But what if I told you that when you do this, you're actually hurting yourself? How? Well, has it worked for you yet? Or did you end up hitting a wall and eventually quitting?
Again, this is stuff that on Facebook I think would be tougher to push out because it does kind of make the viewer feel discomfort and body shames them in a way. But yeah, that would be something where Facebook ads would be tougher to get that approved. And in general, this ad has so many claims that are really unsubstantiated. But as I mentioned, YouTube, you are definitely able to get away with more. Now let's give you another example in the make money online niche, right? This is a Kevin David ad.
If you have more than $10,000 in the bank and you don't know this, I guarantee you that you're missing out on a fortune.
So the first thing he says is if you have more than $10,000 in the bank. I really doubt that would fly on Facebook if you open an ad with that exact copy. That's very, very aggressive. If you move in around 27 seconds in,
Are sometimes earning 50 to 80% ROI on their money, which is more than 10 times better than traditional investments like...
So again, these are kind of, in my opinion, they're income claims where they're like 50 to 80% returns, 10x better than traditional investments. And it's not really too much backing that up. It's not like he has any screenshots of proof. So this is one of those situations where on Facebook, I doubt that would get through. Now, another thing is on YouTube, you can often use income screenshots and make income claims with your ads that you simply can't do on Facebook, right? We've seen a lot of this, and honestly, usually Google and YouTube lets it slide most of the times. So yeah, that's kind of the ad side, where on the ad side, you can definitely be a bit more aggressive with YouTube ads. Hey guys, before we move on, I wanted to talk about something very special very quickly. If you are interested in running or are already running YouTube ads, this is for you. I wanted to introduce you to a few people that are killing it with YouTube ads. Mike made over $1.5 million with e-commerce YouTube ads. Bastian did over $300,000 for a client at a 10x ROAS. Boyd's making $5,000 a day with his course. Kale made a client $40,000 from just $8,000 in ad spend. Lloyd made a client $33,000 from $12,000 in ad spend. Do you know what the one thing they have in common? They're all part of my expert YouTube ads training program. We have the most technical YouTube ads course in the market with live weekly calls, a Facebook group where you can ask any question you want about YouTube ads, and more. And some of the best students spending thousands or even $10,000 a day on YouTube advertising. So there's a link below in the description to go book a demo call. Go and book a call to get a preview of the course and see if it's a fit for you and if it can help you get your YouTube ads to $5,000 a day or more. Now let's get back to the rest of this video. Now, let's talk about the likelihood of account suspensions, right? Because this is a big one, right? Even if your ads get disapproved, okay, you can shoot new ads, make them less aggressive. But if your account gets suspended, that's a major issue. It often takes significant time to get it back, if you can get it back. Basically go through what my experience with YouTube ads has been with account suspensions. So in over 5 years of running YouTube ads, I think I've had maybe like 2 or 3 accounts that got suspended. And I believe I was able to get most of those 2 or 3 accounts back. So I think there was like just one account we weren't able to get back. And usually that's just through reaching out to Google support and basically talking to them and figuring out what the issue was and resolving it. A lot of times the account suspensions are due to payment issues and suspicious payments. So that could be something like, let's say you make a mistake in entering the zip code and then Google thinks you're, maybe like using fake payment details. And in those cases, you just have to reach out to Google support and basically work with them on that. So in that regard, the chances of account suspensions are low. And even if when they do happen, you're usually able to get them back if you're resolve the issue, reach out to Google support and stay persistent. Now, let's compare that to Facebook, right? Because in those 5 years, we've run maybe like 100 plus accounts, easily 100 plus accounts on Google. And with Facebook, I believe that the suspension rate is just pretty much everybody gets their ad account suspended. I would estimate it's like 30 to 50% of ad accounts get suspended at some point or the other. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower, but in general, I would say that on YouTube, it's maybe 1 to 2%, while on Facebook, it's like 20, 25%. So the chances of account suspensions are so much lower with YouTube ads. In that regard, YouTube wins quite as well. Your chances of account suspensions are so much lower with YouTube ads. All right, now let's talk about the third part of this, which is the responsiveness of the support, right? Let's say you have an issue, how easy is it to get help from support and support reps? So typically, if you do get an account suspended, it's a lot easier to get back a Google Ads account than a Facebook account. Google will usually tell you why it was suspended, while Facebook just gives you a vague, kind of broad reason. In terms of other things like billing or helps with campaigns or maybe some sort of tech issues, Google support is so much more responsive, right? Even if it means like appealing ads, right? So typically with Facebook, getting support from their reps is very difficult and it's very slow. While with Google, typically they respond significantly faster and it's pretty easy. And you can even get phone support if you're in the right geographies. And the higher responsiveness definitely helps us because, for example, if we may have issues with ads getting disapproved, we can reach out to Google support to get them approved. And we also find issues like billing can be resolved a lot faster with Google ads. Now with Facebook ads, I asked one of my media buyers, I'm like, hey man, what do you think is the biggest difference between Facebook ad support versus Google ad support? And he said, Google ad support exists, right? That's the level of support that Facebook ads has where it's very difficult to get it. A lot of times, if you want to reach out to them through chat support, it's only available in some accounts and you have to really dig in to find that option. Now, obviously, if you're a dedicated Facebook marketing partner, this is different. In most cases, your support is going to be much slower with Facebook than with Google and with YouTube ads. So yeah, in terms of those three categories, I think Google wins. It's definitely a more advertiser-friendly platform. They treat their advertisers better, while Facebook treats their advertisers pretty badly. But yeah, hopefully this video was useful for you guys. Smash that subscribe button and hit the like button so I can keep making more videos for you guys. And if you guys want to learn more about YouTube ads, go check out my YouTube ads course. There'll be a link below to go check out the curriculum and what's included. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.